Hey everybody, I'm the Ranting Monkey, and today we're going to look at what the Young Turks think might have been behind the UC Berkeley riots. If you don't watch the Young Turks, or TYT as they're known, I don't really blame you. And to be honest, it's very much like watching a soap opera. You can miss it for a year, and if you tune in one time, you're pretty much caught up. In TYT land, everything liberal is good, everything conservative is bad, and common sense is nowhere to be found. But in a recent broadcast, Cenk Uygur and Ana Kasparian, the two hosts, took it to a whole new level of fucktarded.
Protests at UC Berkeley erupted in violence after some masked individuals threw what appeared to be fireworks and started a fire on campus. Now, what were the protests about? Apparently, there was a professional troll scheduled to speak on campus. I have a policy of not naming this individual because he literally says things to be provocative and get attention, and I don't think he's worth our energy.
This is a grown woman pretending to be a news anchor, acting like Milo Yiannopoulos is a villain from the Harry Potter books. He who can't be named. How is it so many people read those books and missed that not naming him gave him more power? Why am I having to explain the message of a book largely targeted at teens to a grown woman talking about politics? Don't get me wrong, I love those books, but for fuck's sakes, Anna, be an adult.
But nonetheless, he purposely goes to very liberal college campuses and says that he's going to give a speech, and usually it leads to protests, which feeds into his argument that liberals are against free speech.
Jesus fucking Christ, we're not even a minute in. Anna, sweetie, he goes where he's invited. Yes, they are liberal colleges. Damn near all colleges are liberal. And yes, the protests against him speaking feed into his argument that liberals are against free speech because they are protesting him speaking.
Now, keep in mind that this is someone who has said some pretty terrible things about pretty much every group of people imaginable. In fact, he was so terrible on Twitter that Twitter permanently banned this person, okay? He directed a bunch of harassment toward Leslie Jones, and it had gotten so bad that Twitter decided to permanently ban him.
He did not direct hate at Leslie Jones. He said she looked like a man. Because she does. Twitter, who by the way can't seem to find the time to stop child porn on their site, had no trouble finding time to ban Milo for a juvenile joke. I guess we all have our priorities.
The university said fires were set, including one caused by a firebomb that ignited a generator-powered spotlight, and commercial-grade fireworks were thrown at police. NBC Bay Area showed a group of people grab a metal barricade and smash it against a door. Apparently, the violence was instigated by a group of about 150 masked agitators who came onto campus and interrupted an otherwise nonviolent protest. That is a statement from officials at UC Berkeley. That is not a statement from a witness. That is not a statement from someone in this news organization. That is based on what officials at UC Berkeley know.
That's an odd thing for the university to be able to say. The 150 masked people all came from off campus? They were masked. How the fuck do they know they weren't students? Did they use a wizard spell? Revelo maskto peoplo. You seem awful willing to just accept that the university could make that statement as fact. If the university knows who those masked men were, they need to release that information to the police. If they don't know who the masked men were, they can't say they weren't students with any certainty.
Okay, so again, masked agitators, that was their statement.
Okay, so as we're going to go to all the different facets of the story.
They're going to go through all the facets of this story. We are not. We are going to point and laugh at the more ridiculous shit these two fucking morons say. As always, you can watch the full video by following the link below.
And by the way, even the peaceful protesters I disagree with, not because I'm against protests, that's perfectly great. Don't protest this no-name person. I know that it's maddening that a bunch of idiot college Republicans usually pay him a lot of money to come to their campus.
Right.
That's a whole different part of it, right? But if you don't go to protest, 7 people are going to show up.
Yes.
He doesn't have any real fans. There's like 7 trolls in the country who like him. You make him out to be such a bigger deal, and he loves it, so stop protesting him.
Yeah, you know.
Let him just enjoy the sound of silence.
Right. Milo would only have 7 people in the audience if it weren't for those protesters. The Berkeley speech sold out almost immediately, but sure, Milo's just insignificant. Just a troll no one cares about. How is the left not getting this? Milo is popular for the same reason Trump got elected. People are tired of your SJW PC bullshit. And Milo really pisses you off because he's a gay Jew who fucks black guys. Not only can you not dismiss him with your usual, he's a racist, he's a homophobe, he's a Nazi nonsense, his audience breaks your narrative too. You can't paint them as Bible-thumping queer haters. And it really pisses you off, which just makes it so much funnier to watch.
He's literally a professional troll. He says things that are so outrageous because he wants to get a rise out of people.
Yes, Milo will push the buttons of overly sensitive SJWs just to watch them lose their minds, and he's very good at it. But he also can and does speak very intelligently about the issues, not only in his prepared remarks, but in the questions and answer portion of his shows or when he's giving interviews. This here has become a very common SJW tactic. It doesn't matter what Milo actually says. He said something that made Ana upset, so nothing else he has ever said matters. He called Leslie Jones a man, so obviously he's never said anything else. Meanwhile, Ana has never said anything mean, ever. Well, that's awkward. It's okay though, because she wasn't doing it for attention and it wasn't on Twitter, so being a cunt is fine. In this case, she was speaking to Alex Jones, who had crashed their little party, so in my opinion, in this case, that would be justified. However, these are their rules. She was mean. Nothing else she ever says matters.
I want you guys to be smart about the way you react to people like this, because that's what they want. They want a reaction. Don't feed the trolls.
He's dying to be a victim. Everything is projection. He says, oh yeah, the liberals love being victims and they're special snowflakes. No, he's the specialist snowflake of them all. And he's like, oh, I need a safe space, right? Yeah. Oh my God, the liberals are scaring me.
You are such a fucking asshole. The police told him to leave because peaceful protesters, masked agitators, were firebombing the building, you fat fuck. This isn't some SJW needing a room set up with puppies and coloring books because their candidate lost an election. His safety was actually a concern. See what Milo did there? He just backed away from that crazy bitch. He didn't run to any safe space. At the Berkeley event, the police told him to leave because there was a rabid pack of fuckwits outside trying to burn down the fucking building, you asshole.
Right? So don't feed into that. Okay, now, to the heart of the story. We know that there was a peaceful protest there, and these masked agitators came in that were not part of the protest that was there for hours. You think Berkeley students put on masks and planned this out and came in?
Yes, I do. Do you remember what happened at Keene University in November of 2015, Cenk? Kyla Simone McKelvey left a BLM protest, went to the library of the school, and sent tweets threatening to kill blacks. You're acting like it would be unheard of for protesters to leave a protest in order to escalate things. And your entire argument is based off the Berkeley administration claiming to know people that cannot be identified absolutely didn't come from the school. That's fucking retarded. We haven't even got to the most mind-blowing fucking moronic part yet. That's coming up in a little while.
Now, nobody knows who those mass agitators are. The authorities don't know. The cops don't know. So if you're saying they're Berkeley students, you don't know that at all. And everyone in the media that said that should immediately retract it.
Did everybody catch that? Cenk knows they didn't come from the school. But everybody who says they did come from the school should retract the stories because nobody knows who the masked agitators were. Cenk, you are, without a doubt, a gigantic asshole.
Apparently they're from a group called Antifa, which honestly I hadn't really heard about.
Are you kidding me? I can understand if the average person on the street had never heard of Antifa. You claim to be a fucking news organization. How in the hell is this news to you? How could you have no prior knowledge and expect anyone to take you seriously?
Okay, if they are left-wingers, and by the way, a true progressive doesn't do violence by definition, and if you're ever at a protest like this and you see people doing violence, stand away from them and point them out to the authorities. And because what they're doing is smearing you. It's such a terrible idea. They're the right-wing's best friend.
No one's being smeared here, Cenk. Did you notice how none of the peaceful protesters left once the violence started? None of them stepped in when guys were beating women with sticks or macing them. Your peaceful protesters reveled in that shit. They didn't even go home after Milo's event had been canceled, for fuck's sake.
because then the right wing goes, you see that? You see that? They cause violence. Now we have to take further and more aggressive action. We can't allow these kind of protests. While meanwhile, this guy who was speaking is like, I'm a First Amendment activist. I care about the freedom of speech. But the protests, we got to get rid of the protests.
You lying little dick. Yes, we need to get rid of violent protests. No one said we need to get rid of all protests. Milo hasn't called for anyone to be silenced. He has called for people to have civil discussion, to wait their turn to speak, but never just to be silenced completely. God, you're an asshole.
So, and could the right wing come in masked? Could it be 4chan guys who come in to cause trouble so that they can then turn around and do exactly what they did today? Oh, you got to take away the funding from Berkeley. I mean, they're teaching science over there, where they're teaching facts. Ugh, we hate facts. The right wing hates facts.
No.
And there it is. It could be a right-wing conspiracy to stop facts from being taught. It could be a 4chan prank like free bleeding. It's a trick to get funding pulled from Berkeley. Not only is Cenk an asshole, he's a fucking nutcase. And we're at my limit. I can't take any more of this stupid shit. I could deal with the hypocrisy of them saying news organizations need to retract because they don't know who the agitators are, while having no issue declaring that they were not students. I can deal with them ignoring the actual arguments Milo makes and focusing only on him making off-color jokes to offend the easily offended. I can even deal with their denial of Milo's popularity. But when this human hemorrhoid and his chode-chomping sidekick, who I'm guessing has qualifications that can only be seen behind closed doors, start suggesting right-wingers snuck in and burned shit to defund the university, that's too much stupid for even me to take. Moron McGee here can't imagine students leaving a peaceful protest to agitate things further, even though we have examples of exactly that happening. But he has no problem imagining Republicans trying to firebomb Milo in an attempt to make liberals look bad. Yeah, fuck these idiots. That's going to wrap up this one. I would like to take a moment to thank all of my patrons, all of the people who have donated through this site, and everybody who has bought merchandise. Your support means more to me than I can say. If you'd like to support this channel, you can make a monthly Patreon donation, purchase something from my store, or share it with all your friends. You can also share this with liberals you'd like to have block you on social media. Speaking of social media, you can get more monkey in your life by following me on the social media sites linked below. Thank you for watching. I'm the Ranting Monkey, and I will see you next time.
Now, nobody knows who those masked agitators are, and these masked agitators came in that were not part of the protest that was there for hours.
Your life makes me sad.